Namaste. Happy to see all of you. Still, it is Deepavali week here, so I wish all of you a very, very happy Diwali. May the Lord, who is the light itself, share His love, shower His love on all of you, all of us, in such a way that it doesn't look too fiery, that we don't try to escape from it in any way. Rather, we dance in it like a child, and it washes everything that need to be washed away. That we start remembering our true nature so naturally, joyfully, and intimately. Not like an attainment of something new, but more like a coming home and experiencing that strength which we always had, and rediscovering that and living that. So I pray to my Lord on this beautiful occasion of Deepavali. This is my best wishes to all of you. Thank you. So you all are welcome. If anything you want to discuss. Yeah, Mila.
Namaste. Last Saturday I was asking you about mind, and today I would like to ask you about the body. I passed the way from use body as a body because I didn't have any other options and I didn't know anything. Then it was a time when I hate this body because it gave me a sense of separateness or sense of something which I'm not. And then I started to appreciate this body as a kind of a special thing which I have as a gift from the God. And still I'm not clear about what role is playing the body in this life. Can we explore it together?
Yes. When you say what role body is playing, are you saying that you being in the body, you are not happy? Because I clearly see you are totally happy. No. So what role, can you give me a little more context, like what role my body is playing in the direction of knowing the truth of who I am? This is the question.
Yes, yes.
This is not difficult to live right now. No. So come back to your breathing right now, in the sense that relax in your breathing right now. Become present in your breathing right now. And like this, you will become consciously present with your body and in your being, no? At the same time. Because breathing is the middle point. So like this, you will remain present in the body and you will remain present in your being at the same time. Okay? So this is necessary for you to for me to answer your this question. So just try to be here like this. And now, as I will share, you will be able to see that this truth. No? you can right now, I'm sure, feel your body to be less thick in a way or less solid because you are more rooted in the breathing right now, no? And also you are rooted in your being also right now, in your presence right now, no? So look at the presence as the most subtle uh, level of body. Look at the body as the most gross or outer level of the presence, okay? Right now you are in the middle. So you can feel the most subtle level of your being, of your presence, and you can feel the most grosser level of your presence also in the form of the physical body, no? Or body as such, no? Of course, the role of the body, or I would like to say now bodies together, all the layers of the body, subtle, gross included. The purpose of this, in a way, role of it in our life is to experience, no? What we experience is not different. That is one thing. That is called the truth. Truth is experienced, or the essential life is experienced. But what we taste out of that experiencing is different based on which level of our presence we are approaching it or experiencing it. Let's say when we experience life through the physical layer of our presence, called the physical body, let's say, no? Let's say we touch, you touch something. No? What we are touching is truth actually. No? Through what we are touching is the physical layer of our presence, and the experience that we are getting, no? What we are experiencing here, ultimately, is different than the pure taste of truth, no? Because of the medium through which we are approaching or experiencing it. No? Yes? The same object can be approached through thinking also, through trying to feel also, no? Like this. Or don't even touch it, like it's just there on a table. You remain present in the truth that I am present, and you acknowledge that this is also present. No? So from the presence to the presence of something else, also we can experience it, which is a very pure experiencing here. No? Because then we give full space for that thing that we are trying to experience to kind of take up a space in a way, to manifest, to show us what it is really. No. Because through the body, whenever we approach, it is within the body only that the reflection will take place, no? Or that experience will take place. So body is going to add a lot to the experience, no? So the experience of actual thing will be very little, and the addition done by the body will be a lot. No? That's why the purity of experiencing will be very, very less. No? Like 2% gold, 98%, copper or something else, brass or something. No? So one purpose, or you can say in a way one role of our body or bodies is experiencing the variety of life, which is actually experiencing the same thing in different ways. Another role, now let's come to what I feel you essentially wanted to, were asking. Another role, the more deeper, you can say fundamental role of body is to give us a context in a way, like a mirror in one sense, so that we can see in this mirror who we are, because there is no mirror which can reflect the formless, placeless, infinite truth. No? The mirror of the body, mind and the whole presence is actually finite. But what is reflected in it in the right time when we are still, and who looks into it, is not finite. No? So it gives a context. Body mind, this whole body mind gives a context. What we are calling presence. Presence is an experience of the absolute in this context of the body. No? Do you see what I'm saying? In the context of the body, the absolute is experienced as presence. No? So that's why the presence is like a middle point. From here we can experience variety, and from here we can come home. Come home where? Where to come home? To realize that there is only one. That truth is one. No? But what is the point of this whole thing? No? We have asked, I myself have asked in my childhood, no? What is the point of this whole thing? Like, if it is going to come back to the same thing, which it already is, so the truth is already true, then what is the whole point? The point is of the joy of discovering that I am one. Awakening basically is the joy of discovering that I am one. The one who discovers is the same one who remains before, during and after awakening, untouched and unaffected by it. Its nature does not change. So the role of the body in this way is what is revealed, I feel. No? Do you feel that you are able to connect to it? It's something very, very fundamental, no?
Yes, G. First of all, about the first part, where I can experience everything as it is. I do remember you were telling me this, but somehow I couldn't understand or couldn't see what you mean. But now it was very clear that it is that part where explanation didn't switch on, but still you silently, or I don't know how to explain it correctly, silently, I feel, experience, for example, I was looking at the cup. A cup as a cup without any explanation that there is a cup or which material it's made or something like this. You feel it, that you feel it is true as you are.
This is what is seeing the cup without using the mind. Without using the mind basically means where mind, which is a medium, like a liquid, like something filled with liquid, is not moving. It's kind of still. When it is still, it is giving way. Like you can see through it. It is not distorting the seeing or perception. No, you know what I mean? Like this. Otherwise, it is continuously distorting, like moving. No, it's like, and then you're trying to see, like So, although it makes sense that our mind should be still first, so that I can see clearly. No? However, the very desire, or any desire for that matter, is capable of creating ripples in the mind. No? And then it becomes a very strange kind of circle, deadlock. So that's why it is suggested that you stop first. Don't try to stop your mind. You stop first. This is meditation. You stop first. Because our mind is not moving by itself. It's not the wind is moving it. Rarely wind will move it. Rarely it does. Like a dead leaf falling in the still lake of our individual consciousness will move it, create ripples. But rarely. Most of the time and all the time it is moving mainly because we are moving continuously. Hey, you don't move. Okay. What do I do? Don't do anything. Just don't do anything. Just don't do anything. Just be quiet. Just be here. Quiet means just be here. But don't do anything. Don't go to sleep like, okay, there is nothing to be done. So let me go to sleep. No. So this is what is seeing the cup as it is. True perception, you can say. Pure perception. Pure perception opens so many doors of possibilities for us. Because pure perception is not really directional. It is omnidirectional, or it is like at least two directional, in the direction of the perceived object and in the direction of the perceiver also. It is like open perception. No? That's why it's very beautiful. Like as soon as we are able to perceive the cup as it is, the cup becomes a mirror in which the perceiver is able to is reflected, and it feels shocked pleasantly. Oh, I am perceiving the cup. But I am is also that which is perceiving the cup is also acknowledged in the same act of perceiving. No? This is the beauty of pure perceiving. No? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, Ji, now you started about the second part of your our explanation, where you talked about mirror, and yes, it is true. I saw this that it is important, especially your body, where the mirror is so clean, and where it is possible to see everything as it is, or who I am as I can say this, and also to meet, as for example now we now I met the cup, and yeah, if this mirror is not clear, then I'm not able to see a cup as a cup, and yes, this part is also become clear to me for the body. And also you were saying that you were asking yourself in the childhood that then why it is so. Yeah, it also was clear to me
Like, what is
that
the whole point, basically? You know,
yes,
what would I gain at the end when everything is going to become the same, which it was initially? You know? What we gain actually is we gain a individual uh, outlook in a way, like a point of view, and a inspiration to look at the truth from this individual outlook or point of view. This is what we gain. What I call sense of wonder. Sense of wonder is a sense of individual presence and a interest in looking at the truth in a way or knowing the truth. No? This is what is gained out of this whole process in a way. Plus experiencing, of course, before that. Because without this individual point of view and the sense of wonder or interest in looking or knowing the truth, truth remains truth. Because truth does not change, but also it is not known. No? The importance of the seer in this existence is highest, even if the beauty is everywhere, but it is not appreciated unless there is a seer of it. No? So this individual presence is that seer created by existence. It's by its own effort. No? So that's why the highest purpose of the body is to attain the sense of presence, the subtlemost layer of it. No? So that from here we can look at truth as an individual, no? And appreciate, wow, you know, what beauty it is. No? Because the contentment that comes out of living the truth comes from not only the purity of looking and living, but also from the individualness of it. You know, like a individualness is needed. Then that punch of experiencing will be there. If that individual is not there, it's all one thing, water is flowing within itself. No? Like there is nobody thirsty here right now. No? It is like a thirst created by the self, for the self, within the self. So that thirst is that individual. No? So body, physical body is the experiencing end of the presence. Presence is the knowing the truth end of the body. No? So that's why body and presence are not two things really, ultimately. They are two ends of the same thing. They are two ends of the there are two possibilities of the same thing. When we are living in the presence level in the body, then body is lighter, like the significance of the physicality is less. Significance of mental faculty and emotional faculty is less. Like value is given less, no? And when the value of given to the physicality, mental, and emotional faculty is more, then the significance or importance given to the subtle layer of presence is less also accordingly. That's where we feel. I don't feel that I'm a presence. No. Who says I am here in the presence? Who says I am? Presence is basically nothing but a subtle most layer of the body only. No. Bodies, different layers. No? Who says I am? It's less important that what is said. It is less important right now. What is experienced in this declaration I am. But who says this? Who is saying that? Actually, it is the absolute saying I am. No? That one truth who created this whole project to know itself is saying I am now. And as soon as it says I am, it almost is like declaration of end of interest in experiencing. Experiencing will continue, habits will be there, tendencies will be there, like all of that can be there, it's totally fine. Because it's not at all useful anymore. Like it's not in the way anymore, no? Because the truth has been unlocked in a way, or opened. The door has been opened for the truth. Now there will be the form called yourself, body, mind, and everything, name and form, and then there will be the one who lives in this form, the absolute. And the clarity of the absolute towards itself will become more and more, grow more and more now. No? So it is not, Mila, that somebody can know I am and somebody cannot know. Everybody can know and everybody does know. It is just about the significance given to it, how much significance is given to it. Some are giving very much, a lot significance to it, and most are giving very less. Why? Because they are interested in experiencing more right now, no? Both are present inside us, but given less value. Yeah. So those who want to know the truth will have to come to the subtle level of the bodies, subtle level of the form, you can say. And here, either the truth will fall on us, like, hey, I am. The absolute will wake up, I am. No? Or a questioning brought to us that, hey, who I am? Oh, I never thought that this is a question to be asked. No? And this will reveal also. This will also reveal the same thing that I am. So meditation is a sort of a process to let go of those outer levels of the form, and to stay in the inner, deeper level or layer of the form, where the environment for self-discovery is very favorable. No? Because here we don't experience many things, or rather we don't experience even things. Here we just experience one thing, I am. No? At the deeper layer of our form, we don't really experience things. To experience things, the outer layers are necessary, which show, it's like our body has 5 holes, called senses. Our mind has as many holes as beliefs or thoughts in it. No? Through those holes, we are looking at the same truth, and it looks like many truths. No? Now we have come more towards the center from where we are looking. Now there are no many holes, there's just one hole. The whole thing looks like one. So I hope that it all is fine. Anything else you would like to say?
Yes, it is very beautiful. Thank you very much and very clear to me. Thank you. Thank you.
That's why it's very important to ask the good questions. No, it's important. But also it's important to somehow check the place from where we are asking the question. Because that place also has to be right if we want the right answer. No? Like a question about the deepest layer of our in our form asked from the outer layer of our form will not reveal the deepest possible answer. No? Like a question asked about about our own presence from our own mind level will not reveal the highest possible answer to us. Meaning it will not enable us to know what is presence in the deepest possible manner. For that, meditation will be the more suitable way, because meditation means going to that level where we can experience ourselves as presence. Now, whether you ask question or not, you are anyway going to experience. No? You see what I mean? Or I would say, even at the mind level, asking the question, what is presence? Knowing clearly that what is the relevance of this question and where it will fit and what purpose it will serve also. No, it's totally fine. No? But knowing that it is going to be about knowing about something, I will not deeply know it. No? Because that knowing is necessary for me to know something deeply. So that's also fine. No? But believing that I ask a question, what is presence, and somebody answered that what is presence, and I will know what is presence as deeply as possible, that's not true. Thank you. Very good. Anna, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
It's a good start because my question was very connected. Maybe now I just formulate it differently because of Mila's introduction. What I have been noticing lately is this discomfort in the body, but it's also a discomfort of the mind that I mainly experience in silence. And I know most of the times that it is not just my discomfort, it is a discomfort of the other person too. And when I was looking what is this discomfort in me, then I came to shame. So I wanted to ask if like this shame and vulnerability, if they're like the same thing, like just not allowing for us to be seen as we are, or yes, a few words on that, because I can feel this is some kind of resistance also. Mainly like we speak and we joke or whatever when there is not only, but like when there is some kind of discomfort, then it is kind of trying to be avoided through that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It's not exactly same thing, but it is related. No? Like the shame and vulnerability is not same thing, but more you can say shame is a shape given to the vulnerability. No? Like a shape, a form given to the formless vulnerability. So there is a formless vulnerability being lived inside us. No? At the subtler level or core level of being. That vulnerability is basically what we can call which is the result of not knowing who we are or not living who we are. So when we are not living who we are, there is a sense of weakness inside us being lived. That sense of weakness is in everyone, by the way. Meaning, at some point, it becomes clear to us that it is in everyone. But it is not felt in everyone as vulnerable or weak, because it is buried deep in the unconsciousness in most of the cases, in most of the people, because the energy is going in the body mind experiencing and thinking also about the individual self that we are at that time. No? So that's why no energy comes here, or no attention is given, or consciousness is given to it. That's why it remains buried, but it is there in everyone. So like this, effectively, everyone is actually feeling vulnerable at the core, unless we discover who we are and start living that. So vulnerable basically is like a in the belly. Let's say belly. I'm using the word belly like physically also in the body, but in a way like a core of ourself also. So in the core of ourself, there's a mystery, and that mystery is actually like emptiness. It's a divine emptiness. But in relation to what is what is what has covered this divine emptiness, the body, the other different layers, it is very different, because body is like physical, mental, like there is something tangible about it, and the emptiness doesn't have anything tangible about it. So in relation to that, it looks like weakness, vulnerable. However, it is the very source of strength of the whole universe. This emptiness inside you, which looks like vulnerable, is the source of strength of everything in you, if it is approached correctly. What we are doing is, we are using the language of the physicality, mental and emotional layers to define it, to meet it, to experience it. And then it looks vulnerable. No, it is not vulnerable. It is super strong, but in different way. And meditation, dhyana and satsang is the way to learn how to meet it in the right way. Like allowing it to be what it is, not trying to change it, because nobody can change it. We get destroyed or disturbed. Anything which tries to hit it, it just gets destroyed and disturbed. Because it is that divine, sacred emptiness, the presence of the Absolute inside us. So yes, it feels vulnerable in relation to the way a person feels strong. The way of person to feel strong, it looks vulnerable, but it is not. Because the very way of person to feel strong is rooted in falsity. And this is truth. And once we cover it in some way through the mind, that no, this is not something. There is something like a weakness in me that is manifested now or translated into some feelings also. One is shame. One is sense of inferiority also, like I'm inferior. We are neither inferior from anyone nor superior from anyone. We can never be, because we are never comparable. We are all trees coming out of the soil of Lord, of the same truth. We are not comparable in that way. Maybe we are comparable in terms of performance, maybe. How well, how intensely I'm living, let's say, maybe. That can be compared. Or am I kind of resisting? But not what fruits I am producing, what fruits you are producing. What flowers, what leaves, what type of color, how many branches. So shame is a in-between thing. Probably it is like you, the pure being, want to live the truth that you are and not able to, and feeling some kind of regret maybe. And you as a person, not able to do certain things because of this also maybe, and again you are feeling some kind of regret, and cumulatively it is felt like shame maybe. collectively, like the essence of, like, you know, the juice of all these regrets is felt like a, like, oh, you are not ashamed in front of others, towards others. You are ashamed with yourself in a way. No? Please see, this is really true. If we are not ashamed of ourselves or to ourselves, we will not be ashamed to anyone actually. You know what I mean? We are just working with ourselves only. And if we are clear with ourselves, we are clear with all. You know? This is what I felt. But I know now that many times it may not be so clear when it comes in the words. So please tell me that did it reach you?
Yes, thank you. I have, when I have tears, then I know that you touched like the core and the most beautiful in me. This shame is coming really with also with masters, or like also with you. It's also like a shame of I'm wasting all of your guys' time in a way, you know, like why didn't I yet, you know, because I know what it is, and I live it, but sometimes then I don't, and then it's also this shame of like what am I waiting for, or you know, like that. Thank you.
Totally understand. Yes, yes, yes. Try to see it as neutrally as possible, like as if you are a scientist working on your own self. No? And then, even if you will feel emotions very strongly, you will not be emotional when looking at them, no? Or affected by them when looking at them. Feel this right now, because I'm trying to offer you and live with you. I'm living with you, and at this truth that you are that absolute being who has the capacity to look at it so neutrally that the emotion remains, you know, but like it is not distorted or dissolved, and yet somehow you the perceiver of it is not affected by it. Like as if you have become that space, meaning you have become aware that I am that space in which it is happening. I am the space of awareness in which it is happening. You have awareness, I am that awareness, no? Like this. And so you are giving enough space to it, but it is not your problem anymore. It was your problem because it was affecting you, affecting your ability to perceive. Now it is not affecting your, influencing your ability to perceive anymore. And by the way, Anna, this is the way of the being. What we are living right now is the way of the being to transform anything into the holistic, harmony inside us. No? Like you are now not running in any corner of your body, mind, and layers. You are just not going anywhere. You are not shutting down. You are not opening more intensely. Everything is allowed to be the way it is now. And you are allowing yourself to be who you are now. Not knowing so clearly. So knowledge is less, but the experiencing, perceiving is pure as it is. It is neither too open, it is neither too close. It is as it is. But here, you are not a person, you are not an entity, You are not defined so easy, so well here. Like I am, you feel that I am, but not so well defined. And it's okay. There is no need to define. This is that moment of perceiving purely. No? Because what we will use to define is that which we are perceiving right now. If you want to define, use your own inbuilt abilities which you are not perceiving. Anything you are perceiving, don't use it to define who you are right now. Okay? The mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the abilities. Don't use any of that material to define who you are because it makes no sense. That's okay to live in the form, to define ourselves using the material of the form. But right now, there is no need to define. And that material which creates shame, that sense of vulnerability is not all gone, but right now it cannot be experienced. Because you are not affected by it right now at all. You are living in the purity of your being. From the purity of your being, many things cannot be experienced really inside us. Because they are relative experiences. Relative in the sense that the experiencer is affected by them or something similar. Then only they can be experienced as real. Or even they are visible. Certain things are not visible at all when you are living in the purity of your being. But the joy is here. The truth of who we are is here. In that experience of vulnerability and up to some degree maybe shame will also come back. And it's okay. But now you know the truth of it. That the more I'm affected by these things which are happening inside me, the more these things become different in my experience. Do you see what I'm saying? Like right now there is no black and white for you. But as soon as you will be affected by the black, the white will look more white. As soon as you will be affected by the white, the black will look more black, like this. But right now you are beyond both. You are this pure perceiver, the being, the pure being of life. That's why you are simply allowing everything to be the way it is. And they just have lost all those colors which you were seeing in them. Because they were not really there in them. They were more between somewhere, between the experience and the experiencer. More in the experiencer. And when you will come out of this purity into the role of an individual, those things will kind of come back up to some degree, but much less now. And also you will know the truth of them much more now. And there is an improvement possible also there. And this is what we are doing is also a possibility to improve that indirectly, fundamentally. No? That's why meditation is most fundamental way of correcting many things in our life, but indirectly, more fundamentally. When we are too much attached to the belief that the shame is shame only, it's just about how to find a solution for it, then this method may not work for us. But if we are open, that I don't know what it is called, I don't insist so much what it is. I just am not happy and I want to be happy. I'm not free and I want to be free. Then this method will work, what we are using right now. So thank you, Anna. Very beautiful talking to you. Just one more thing I want to, like, I have a feeling to inspiration to live with all of you and particularly with you. Right now we are sitting here, no? Mila, you can also join because you were also on the similar topic. So right now we are knowing that our body is here, no? Like try to look at it from inside, like as if your eyes are closed in a way, no? Don't look at it from the eyes of the body, because that's not going to be possible, no? Right now, who you are. I'm not asking a question, I'm just sharing something. Right now, who you are. Is it not true that it is a mix of two things? Like the body is being reflected in who I am? Like a mix, like, there is a mixing of the reflection of body also in who I am right now, no? And there is a reflection of something else also in it, mixed, who I am. Like that pure being, that experience or knowing of the pure being and the experience of the body. These two things are mixed here, no? The reflection of the body is giving a form to what I am, no, what we are. It is giving a form to the formless. The formless is the truth. The contribution of the formless is the reality, that our self has become real here. Even our body is real or alive because of the presence of the absolute truth here. And this is such a powerful thing to know, that in this mundane, so-called mundane body, the absolute is meeting, is sitting, is living, is looking, talking, listening. It's just that we need to sit very quietly, learn in a way to sit in dhyana and satsang quietly to discover this truth. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. Karuna, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee.
Namaste.
Sometimes I don't know to whom I'm more thankful, to the one who asked or to your reply. These words of the question and your reply are very close to my heart, touched me a lot. Thank you for this. Somehow I have a kind of topic which is on the same lines, but a bit heavier, and kind of also feel to say forgive me for this. I don't know why, just I feel to say forgive me for this. So it is kind of last couple of days. I just arrived to India a couple of days ago, and that was very stressful finding accommodation, and like the energy of Arunachal is also very strong, and it all caused that this neurological disease kind of started to give signs, which really scared me a lot. It is not like very bad now, but I know how it can be, and thinking of this scares me a lot, and even up to like cold sweat and shaking of the body, so much it is. Also this morning it was like that, and I was I feel that this thing is, there is something also good about it, definitely, because it just hits on the most egoic parts of my mind, as if it is taking my life, my whatever image I have, like whatever I'm used to, like just kind of it is able to take everything, and I'm trying to strongly protect it, you know, like just protect it, run away. The first thing which comes to my mind, I should run away to Russia back, or just anywhere, like to call anybody to speak this out, and like maybe someone will help me, but I know nobody will help me. I will be alone with that, I know. Finally, I will be alone anyway. So it just hits on those very kind of painful centers of whatever is in me protecting it, and its life, you see. And in this noisy environment, I'm sitting and trying to, you know, to see it from different angles, remembering your words and Guruji and masters and like whatever I can. Just thinking of the will of the divine, because it's all in his hands, like that. The question, I suppose, is maybe you could, with your supportive words, kind of give me some direction here, because it starts from the body, but it's not the core of it, like the main fear. I know it from before also, when the disease was not there. I know it from before, from also staying in Sahaja when it was coming kind of close to some, I don't know, some revelation or something, when the psyche was just kind of doing this and kind of running from that experience. But this physical thing, I just can't run away from, you know. If it takes the body, then it takes the body, and yeah, it could, I guess it could help me somehow, but that weakness, or nothing comes more than this. Thank you for listening.
I'll just share something, and maybe it will help. No? But before I share, I hope, I'm sure it is very clear to you that you are taking expert advice on the levels of physical level and neurological and every level, and taking help of the experts there. No? I'm sure. I think you told me also. So that is being taken care of already about the health and everything. No? But we are talking about something internal and something spiritual now. We are not talking about the effects of it in the body or what treatment to do about it. No, we are talking about something internal, like how you, the being, is looking at it, and what you, the being, is going through right now, and what can be done about it. No, we are talking about this right now. You, the being, is the very strength, the source of energy of this body mind, actually. And it has been noticed by many that when the being start waking up it may go through some kind of, what we call tremors, like it shaking, no shaking. It may go through a period where it is settling into its being, but during this time it feels shaken in a way, but in a such subtle way that it doesn't notice that I'm shaking, but its effects are felt in the body mind also. So I have this feeling that if you try to come to a more not shaken state, like more stable state of your being, try to live that inside you which is not shaken, which is not, disturbed. That will give you a very beautiful orientation from inside to the whole thing. Where if there are symptoms at the body-mind level remaining still, will be treated, given treatment, by the related, related experts. But that peacefulness and joyfulness will surface in you now. That sense of fear will not be there anymore. Because it is as if there is a period in which you are right now where you are not that person, that identity which you used to be. Like too far from it now, in a way. That it's not able to give you stability anymore. And you are not close enough or rooted enough in the truth that you are now, that it can give you a sense of stability now. And once we are here like this is my understanding, there is no way to go back to the person's identity. It's not possible. The only way now is to go to who we are now more. And the challenge here is that everything that we have known so far, we have known through that personhood. All the language, everything absolutely. And who we are beyond it is not known to us. And like, why should I go where it is not known to me? This is the challenge we may feel. But don't go all the way maybe, but just taste a little bit. Right now, for example, taste that sense of being that you are. Without trying to remove any disturbances which are inside you. Without trying to remove any fear which is inside you. No, they are coexisting. There is an experience of fear, but also there is the stillness of being here inside you. If you try to a little bit focus more on the stillness of your being, you may come to the sense of peace and even sense of joy, stability. So, it is true that meditation cannot solve all the problems of a person. No? But it is also true that there are some problems of a person which nothing else can solve but meditation. So maybe your problem can be solved only by meditation, or maybe not. That's why I'm saying I will just share. So I'm just sharing with this hope that maybe it will solve this problem that you have. Meaning, maybe this is the answer, this is the solution for this problem, meditation. Meditation simply means allowing yourself to be what you are, remaining yourself to be what you are, and remaining all the experience to be the way it is right now. It's a big step really, but you are ready, I know. I feel you are totally ready. You have practiced. What is practicing meditation? Practicing means like attempting. Attempting to relax in our being. That is practicing meditation. Attempting to let the experiences remain as they are, even if they look very strong. And something new, something new will open up in you. Something new means like a new way of new knowledge about yourself will open up here. that, hey, actually I am not really whole of myself affected by it. Kind of part of myself is unaffected in a way. Part of myself, not really separate or apart from myself, but something in me is not affected. And you will immediately feel that peacefulness, immediately. Not after some time. After some time is a mind's idea. Then we are looking at it from the mind. Immediately you will feel peaceful, like a release, like a freedom. Meaning, right now what is happening inside you has become so big that it has covered your sensitivity or your awareness, your self-awareness. I'm saying, don't try to hold on to the experience or don't try to experience the experience so much, but try to sense yourself more so that you can return to the natural self-awareness. And as soon as you are returning to this natural self-awareness, this thing which is happening will be given appropriate value and treatment, and yet somehow it will become smaller than how it looks like when, in a moment like this where we feel overwhelmed by it. No? And that's a great attainment, because first of all you will feel peaceful, assured that at least aspect of myself is not affected. And then from here you have much more wisdom to deal with it, to take help of the experts, with, if necessary and when necessary, and what to do, what not to do. Like you are looking at it from a very stable ground now. Like, hey, no, there is something really problem in the body. Let me do something about it, like this. Not that kind of, projecting the spiritual idea on everything, that no, everything is spiritual. Maybe not, But now you are stable. So experiences, some, if produced because of our shakiness, will be removed when we are not shaking, when we are stable. Many experiences in the body-mind are effect of many other things also, and they need to be treated accordingly. But you are peaceful. Nevertheless, you are not overwhelmed by anything now. You are again stable. No? This is the point. Meaning, your peace is not broken. Your peace is unbroken now. As I said, this is just my feeling inside me that this may help you. It may or may not. You check. And so if you feel like saying anything, you're welcome.
It feels more stable now.
It's good.
Just as you are saying, as if two parts are here at the same time, and I'm not doing some extra action to prefer something over the other. As if something relaxes in the belly or somewhere, kind of giving space. I don't know. Also feels like that. Some doing is removed by that, which I didn't know where it is, that doing. Yeah. I often feel that some doing is there, but I can't recognize where it is. And when it is gone, then I know it's gone. That doing.
But in this state where you are now, your perceiving has become more clear now, I noticed, because you have become more stable. It may sound really strange, but when we are feeling fear, is there any harm in living that deeper level of our being, which is aware of the fear? There is no harm really. But we are so overwhelmed by it sometimes that we feel, what is the point? What are you saying? Why we should, And I'm not saying remove the fear. I'm saying just wake up a deeper layer of your being, which is aware of the fear, but which is not fear itself, or which is not affected by the fear also. And let there be fear also. Generally what we do, either we try to remove the fear, that okay, now that I'm aware of it, fear should not be there. The whole point of being aware of anything in the spiritual discussion direction is not so that it should disappear, but so that a bigger context opens up or wakes up inside us, called who I am, what I am, which is not affected by it also, and which is also capable of being aware of it or looking at it. Try to live one more thing now. I'm feeling a little encouraged by your response that this, what you are feeling or you were feeling, is something very intimate, no? Like as you said, belly, yes, it is very intimate. But after all, fundamentally, is intimacy also not an experience? And you don't need to remove it, like you don't need to remove it, no? And is intimate is a bad thing? No, intimate is just intimate. Intimate means like more subtle. Like in our form, there are places where we experience subtle. Subtle means the form is felt less, no? And the being that we are is felt more. That is subtle level, no? There are gross level of the body, which is very physical. It doesn't feel so intimate, so vulnerable, so weak or anything. But we also feel ourselves very less. No? So, intimate is fine, no? Because after all, it is a fact. It is intimate. Very intimate fear. And intimate fear is happening inside you. All I'm doing is I'm trying to bring to your notice that you are missing one whole point here, that it is happening in you. So there has to be a you, like a space in which it is happening. Why don't you live that also? Why don't you include that also in this experience right now? Like why to exclude it? That no, what is happening in me has to be given more value. Why? That is the way of the person, to kind of focus on one thing too much at a time, where it becomes something totally different. No, keeping it in the whole context of the being. That I don't deny that I'm feeling fear and kind of it's really very disturbing and very intimate. But I also don't deny that it is happening in the sense of being that I am. Is it going to serve any purpose? To the person, no. But to the being that you are, yes. Very, very powerful purpose. It's kind of going to bring everything in the right context, in the right size in a way, where you cannot feel overwhelmed by these things. And you will appropriately attend them and treat them as and when necessary, like deal with them, whatever need to be done. But you are peaceful now. Because you are not waiting for these things to be removed from you before you can, let's say, go there in 𝑡ℎ𝑒𝑟𝑢 and enjoy a coconut water, no? You go, no, let me go there, let me enjoy. Or anything else, no, for that matter. Like you, the soul as if was stuck. You are free now. That, hey, I don't need to not be myself to treat or to meet this fear. I'm allowed to be myself while I'm treating or dealing with this. You see what I'm saying? This is all I'm saying. And this makes a big difference. It makes a big difference in the whole experience. The whole experience becomes so small. But it remains there. Don't imagine that it's just like, or let us not insist or believe that no, it's not going to be there at all. No, it is very much there, but not as big a cloud as it was before. Because now the sky has remembered that I am the sky. Now the sky internally is experiencing its vastness, not in relation to what is happening. You know what I mean? Generally, we are trying to measure our spaciousness based on what is happening inside us. That's why even our sense of spaciousness is after all experience only during the meditation. And that's why it goes away. But now the sky is waking up. What the hell? I am the sky all the time, regardless of what is happening to me. And I don't want to discard. I want to respect what is happening to me. Look at it deeply. What is this really? Why it looks so intimate to me? Why it is disturbing, creating a sense of disturbance in me? No, let me look. But this time, the sky that you are, the being that you are, is not overlooking or covering your reality. You are saying, no, I am going to live my reality also now. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good. Thank you.
It's so true, your last words. That, like we are expecting this some states of spaciousness to be ourselves. Like we want that to be like that. Yeah, and as you pointed, I just feel that you pointed at the right place, and it is so. It's really. I'm listening to you, and I see. Yeah, let me sit with this, Rajee, please. Let me sit with this. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are a very good listener. That's why such a sharing happens, no, with you. Thank you. These are most fundamental misunderstanding left in the being now. They are not in the mind. They are not in the emotions. They are not in relation to something. They are more in the being itself in a way. Like as if the being is feeling shy. That no, I still cannot allow myself to be bold, to kind of relax. Like okay, I am the being, but you are not feeling great. Oh yeah, I'm not. Your body is kind of so weak and broken. Oh yeah, that's true. But that's what it means to be a person, no? Defining yourself based on what you are feeling in the body mind. That's what it means to live as the individual self, no? False self, no? And by the way, even if there is no one in this world, other persons who accept you as you are, I Rajee, accepts you as you are. That may really contribute a lot towards waking up to who you are. Because then you don't have to work on anything when you are with me. You don't have to work on yourself when you are with me. You can start living who you are, no? Like, no, you don't need to be busy, no? You know what I mean? But thank you. Very good that it is understood and being lived now. If you say something to me, you may be right, you may be wrong, you know. But it doesn't mean that you will be something else. You are always that, no? Always that. I think it is part of the spiritual misunderstandings also, that how it is when I live myself. And we are still defining it based on what happens in my life, in my behaviors, in my or in my state also, you know. That always covered really, but in the long run, in after some time maybe, no. But the first thing is to start living who we are, no. And now what is in the way? In reality, nothing at all. It is so intimate, like so deep, deeper than everything, that nothing can be in the way of it, except that the being itself is feeling shy or in some way, no, 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 I don't think I deserve to live as who I am. No, not yet.
Thank you, Ji, and happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali.
In the morning, I came across the joy of clarity thing. I don't browse, but when I go to do some job, something comes. So today, and I really feel like your light is shining in my heart, and so I wrote it there, and I'm repeating it here. It really feels like that, and so many things you've been saying since even before the beginning of the meeting are just resonating and resonating, that I said I can't speak now, I'll just write an email. But just now I felt like there was some space, and I said, let me take this space and this opportunity and this blessing that you give us. I feel that now I can't even exclaim in my voice about how huge is the manifestation in the material world, in my life, the life in this body mind, because it becomes so huge that you were talking about vulnerability and strength, and I know clearly how it feels. Both I'm holding right now this tremendous weakness and vulnerability even in the body, and this unbelievable strength. I mean, like a strength that I can't feel the strength. It's just there. And it's looking after everything, absolutely everything. Because now it's become so big. Even some months ago, I thought, hey, I think this is becoming too big for this body mind. And some years ago, before my breakdown, I said, something is coming, it's too big for me. I'm too small for this. And it is. And every time now there's no option that everything has to break, because that resistance is unable to stand up to what is happening. Mind is unable to comprehend how it is happening. The things which are coming together are lifetime dreams. And they're not personal dreams, they have always been universal dreams in the area of my work. Of this lifetime. And when you started before the meeting talking to Mila about it was so strong for me that till now I'm still reeling with what you were saying, that the fighting with the divine directly, or playing with the divine. And that's so beautiful, Ji. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Very beautiful to hear you. What is right now, attracting me more is that vulnerability and strength. Actually, right where the vulnerability is, that is the possibility and opportunity of strength also. But our belief of limitation, our belief of what we have right now, what amount of strength we have right now, doesn't let us unlock it anyway, in a way, no? Vulnerability basically inside us is that unknown strength, that we have not stepped into yet, and we are afraid that I'm too small. How can I, That's why in the spirituality, um, we define awakening as the three levels, no? Mind level, heart level, and the gut level. And the gut level always remains the deepest also, and the most kind of not scary but most strong in a way also, because of this sense of vulnerability. When we wake up at the mind level, then the heart feels that vulnerability is felt at the heart level. No? Like, oh, something is vulnerable here. And again, it is found to be strength only. It is just incorrectly defined by our habit. So when we incorrectly define that strength of the heart, it feels like vulnerable. And when our heart opens up, and when we become a little more sensitive, then the gut level feels vulnerable. No? And again, it is strength waiting there, but feels vulnerable. So it is a relative experience, of course. But any sense of vulnerability inside us, when not attended, is going to suck our energy in so many more ways than we think. But when attended, even if not trying to change it, but accepting that it is there, no, already it start turning into strength. Because it is waiting to become our strength, and we are just not letting it be part of who we are and part of our living life. No? As soon as we allow it to be part of it, not cutting it off, it start giving us a strength. Like a long time back, it happened that some of our friend, no, or Osho Sannyasi friend, was asking that, do you have fear? I said, I don't have fear of fear. Like we all are trying to be free from suffering, and there's only one way to be free from suffering. That is, when we will not have fear of suffering, then we are free from it. Why do we have fear of suffering? What suffering takes away from us? Try to see this. Suffering takes away from ourself, from us ourself actually. How ourself can be taken away from ourself? Because that ourself which is taken away is our imagination. So we live in the imagination, and the suffering tries to remove it. It's like a friend. Suffering is a friend. It tries to wake us up to who we are. That's why we try to cover the suffering. Don't let it burn in front of us. Because if we live the suffering as it is, it will wake us up. No? I'm talking about internal suffering. Like so I felt like sharing some things about it. Thank you. And Zoe, you want to talk?
Yes, Namaste Ji.
Namaste.
Ji, by listening to you, I feel strong of sweetness.
A strong sweetness.
Yes. Like more directly to meet the beloved.
Oh. I just have the feeling to share something. Huh? So let's see. Let's say when we eat food, no, physical food, we are hungry when we eat food, no. When we eat food, not when we are full already, but the moment we start eating food, we feel some sweetness actually. That sweetness is of the beloved, of the being, no. When we have some very deep confusion in the mind, like a knot, you know, and we are able to sit with it, and it is unlocked, and then we feel some sweetness also there, you know. That sweetness is of the beloved, of the being. There is some very strong emotional knot inside us, let's say, creating some discomfort in a way. And let's say we approach it rightly, or life brings some solution and it is unlocked somehow. We feel some sweetness, no? That sweetness is of the beloved, of the being. So basically, we feel the sweetness of the beloved, of the being when we are free. Particularly when we were caught up before and we became free, that time there is a period for a few seconds where we are not habitually engaged with what we usually remain engaged with, the mind, the person, personal life. No? So that is that period, Zoe, where we are free. When we are free, we experience the sweetness of the beloved, of the being. The same thing, Joy, we experience in Dhyan. Now we try to do the same thing consciously now. That we try to come to that state of freedom in the being consciously now. That let me not do anything now. No. And then the moment we are able to, even for 1 second in meditation, in Dhyana, we feel that same sweetness of the beloved, of the being. No. In Satsang, it is much more loud actually, in my experience. Because in this Satsang, not only the teacher, but also in all of us, all of you who come, the beloved somehow becomes much more active or alive, or how to say. So the experience of sweetness of the beloved, of the being, is much more loud here also. No? However, initially, when the soul is identified with the sense of person, sense of body too much, it does not benefit from it so much. It just enjoys the sweetness in satsang. While it continues trying to solve its problem, which it think are its problems. No? And this is why satsang may wake us up, but it causes only relative spiritual awakening, growth, no? Which is also fine. So, which sweetness you are talking about?
It's just so pure. I don't know which one.
I think it's good. Because for sure in satsang, in our own dhyan also, in our satsang also, we have moments where it is so pure that it cannot be defined really. No? So I think it's very, very, very good. I feel, Zoe, we are going to continue experiencing this sweetness in different forms inside us. And we will have the feeling that, oh, I am having it now and I lost it. No? I just want to share something, so it kind of will give you a perspective in a way, or like my outlook towards it. No? If you want to live the sweetness of the being in you, you need to live the bitterness also before that, because that will create a contrast. Only on the background of experience of bitterness, the being, sweetness of the being feels sweet, no? Because the being is neither sweet nor bitter, no? So even the sweetness of the being is not actual experience. It is only the other end of the bitter experience. You know? Bitter experience is like the being is trying to go away as far as it can from its own original true state, true experience, to some imaginary fictitious experience. No? And then from there, a release happens, like let go happens, back into its natural state. And the closer it comes, the more it feels sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. At some point, when you are the being, you don't feel sweetness. You are the sweetness. You know, and which is, of course, much more valuable than just feeling the sweetness. Why I'm trying to say this, that it can serve a great purpose for us to become free from that work which we are doing unnecessarily inside us in the direction of awakening, because we are trying to change our experiences inside us continuously. Or, however, all those experiences are serving some deeper desire. No? Like our desire for happiness has created the experience of unhappiness. No? Because we are very specific about it in our demand, that I want to experience happiness like this, like like when we go to a holiday destination, we have just landed, the fresh air of the beach, I want to experience like this. So for that, the opposite has to be created first. You know what I mean? And we somehow feel that no, this I don't want this. If you don't want this, you cannot have this also. This is the problem. Because the being does not have any experience of its own. And yet, there is nothing more tasty than this. Like those who are back here, they don't want that version of dualistic experiencing, no? Where we have interrelated opposites, no? They don't want that. I'm just sharing so that many things need to be changed inside us, and we will change understandings and everything. But not that so many experiences which are happening inside us have to be changed immediately. Oh, I'm feeling negative. It should be changed now to positive immediately. You know what I mean? Many of them can be left to how they are, because they are just answers of our previous desires or prayers, maybe, no? We can just ignore them, no? Not interested anymore. Now I'm interested in something much higher, no? Based on how it is for everyone, all of you can see. I'm just trying to share my outlook towards it. Meaning, if we cannot be free from happiness, we cannot be free from unhappiness also. That's what it means.
Is it also even this kind of sweetness? I also maybe to be more neutral.
More
Neutral. That okay.
No.
No.
It is totally fine to feel and live this sweetness, but not desiring that it should be permanent. No? Because this sweetness is something like a taste of our own being. When we drink it, when we eat it, we start remembering who we are. No? So in satsang, it serves a great purpose actually for those who want to remember, wake up who they are. Because we get to drink the truth, the taste of the sweetness of the being, which is offered by our beloved. No? Hey, let's enjoy it. Like we will remember more clearly, more intensely, more deeply who I am. Like a thirst initially wakes up inside us. That I don't think life is giving me that which I am searching for, or it can ever give me, No, I need something totally different than, the attainment of personal life. That kind of wakes up inside us here. So it is a very beautiful thing. Don't be neutral. Totally drink it, fully into it, but don't demand it to be permanent, because it is not going to be permanent. It is not yours yet. So it will not be permanent. And when it will be permanent for you, you will not be interested in it anymore. Because you are the source of it then. Because you have attained something higher than that by that time. Like you will be that flower whose fragrance it is. You will be more happy and dancing out of glory, in glory of your beauty, eternal beauty, Not so much like, oh wow, how sweet, how beautiful sweetness coming out of me, or fragrance, You know what I mean? Like it will be something so small for you then, by that time. I hope that, again, I'm just checking. Because I'm really trying my best to communicate, to share, and I know it's not easy. So your cooperation is totally, totally required to respond and to make clear that no, it was not clear to me. And also a little few words of appreciation will not harm if you have understood well.
Yeah, I feel so much great gratitude and so much grateful, because every time when I check with you and then bring lots of clarity, because sometimes what I feel like sweetness, and then I feel, oh, is that from my imagination? Is that really happening? And then just by listening to you, everything just clear. Thank you so much, Ji.
Thank you, beloved. Satsang is a spaciousness or a space of being, which is full of light, full of true light. And it's a really very powerful facility for those who want to see the truth as it is. Because truth is seen as it is here. No distortion possible here. No. All that is required is a desire in you to see the truth, which I see in you. So that's why you are able to see, oh, so clear. Clarity or pure perceiving is same thing. Not adding anything to the view, to the perceived. Clarity does not solve our problem, by the way. It just shows us that it is not a problem. There is no need to solve the problem then, because it is not a problem. Like some innocent patient who goes to a doctor that doctor, I have a big problem in my life. He says, okay, what to do? But what is your problem? He says, my problem is that I don't feel thirsty after drinking water. I don't feel hungry after eating food. He says, it's okay. I know this disease totally. I know this. I'm an expert of it. Take these medicines. Take this one pill after sleep, and take this another pill before waking up. Okay? Like as is the disease, so is the treatment. No? Clarity brings us to peace, that everything is all right. The way it is happening is perfect already. Then we contribute to the perfection through participation in it. We are the being. We are holding ourselves back. We are not participating in life. Like this. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you so much, Ji. Love you so much, Ji.
Love you very much, beloved. Thank you. Mila, you wrote, today Satsang is a pure joy of clarity. I also feel that. Thank you, Mila. Because the joy I felt in my life first time was out of clarity only. That was the reason that this naming came. No? Because I oftentimes used to use this word, joy of clarity, so, And it totally makes sense to me even now that ultimate freedom is not really attainment, it is clarity. No. Ultimate freedom, the liberation, is not really attainment, it is clarity. Although we cannot accept it in the beginning, that what are you saying? I am disturbed, I am feeling this and that, and how just by clarity everything can happen. I know it is true. We will know this one day. Life is like a flow, and it has a rhythm, it has a wisdom, it has a harmony also in it. If my life is not in the rhythm, in harmony, in balance, it is not really that others are disturbing it so much. Maybe, but little bit. But the very fundamental flow and the force of life flow is going to bring everything into harmony again and again. It does everything. Overnight, it brings that back to harmony again and again every morning. No, even if it has been disturbed by others. No, that is not the reason that others are disturbing me. Something else. No, I am disturbing my life. That is the reason. Because of not being clear, because of lack of clarity, and not letting the harmony happen in my life. This is what is discovered, Mila, one day. Of course, when it is discovered, then it is discovered. Until then, we will feel like, no, this is not true. And it's okay to feel like this. Mila, as you will become more relaxed, clear and relaxed in your being, you will use the strength of the flow of life rather than trying to, use your separate strength. Like in a way you can say you will contribute or you will join in a way. Like, thank you. I think it's very good. Thank you.
Siji, the last part of talking with Zoe and then this part of talking with Mila, it resonated a lot. I felt joy and I felt that knocking or that hit that, okay, yes, I'm not like being fully present here so that get fully benefit. Yes, thank you so much, Ji. So much. Thank you.
I think it's good that you are benefited, no? It's good. Let us try to again understand what is the actual bondage of the soul. Let us try to understand once again. No? Actual bondage or imprisonment is not like a shell in which we are caught up. Shell being the state, let's say, of our energies or being. No, it is actually that we are seeing from a certain perspective at life and that perspective is creating an identification with a portion of life, then it feels like I am caught up here. When that identification is broken, which requires, if we want to break this identification permanently, which requires us to be free from this perspective from where we are looking at life, which is called the person state, the level of the person. So we go deeper than the person state and look at life, same life, from deeper space. And of course, during this time, the identification with the smaller part of life will try to pull us back into the person state. That will feel like to be more natural and default to us. That this is my state. No, this is not my state, this is my habitual, long-lived perspective. You know? So freedom basically is freedom from a particular perspective. That particular perspective is creating something called myself, I, and something called you, or the world. No? Which does not mean that we should destroy it. It simply means that we should know the truth of it. That neither I is really real ultimately, nor the you is really real ultimately. It is relatively real and good for the living of a practical life in the body. No? I was never bound because I was not real. Because I was not real, the bondage of the I was also not real. Freedom was here. Freedom is here always. The being is free. The being who is looking through a perspective is free already. Turning towards yourself, turning inward basically means that the seer, the one who is aware, turns towards itself. That I don't focus on the experience of bondage, let me focus on who I am. And then it recognizes its true state, its truth, true nature. And then that recognition survives, even when we come back to the body-mind again. And we look from that same perspective again. Body-mind is that context, that perspective. So each body-mind is one perspective through which the being is looking. But that being which is looking is the same being. It's not many beings, actually. That's why there is intimacy also with others, a sense of love also, care, kindness towards others also. It's an internal thing. It's not we have learned that, oh, I should love you. No. Which is also not a bad thing, by the way. But there is a actual love felt for others inside. Like even with those people who you don't like you are, let's say, apparently for practical reason, you are fighting with them or struggling with them, even for them, love is felt. Like a sense of oneness is felt, you know. Like after all, we are one. Apparently, eventually, for the situation we are fighting against each other, that's okay, you know. It's an actual experience of truth. So just felt like sharing with you. Thank you. Deepa, you want to talk?
Namaste ji.
Namaste.
Happy Diwali again.
Happy Diwali.
I know it might sound stupid maybe, but what to do in case of if a mosquito hits you? Like we are creating a karma even there, right? How do we deal with that? I don't want to be bound by it, but
I have
yeah,
I have
please.
some experience of it. Yeah, go on, please. Complete.
No, no, please go ahead. Please go ahead. I guess you understood my question. Please go ahead.
Yes, I understood. I actually, long time back, I asked such a question from Samdasi Swami also, one of my teachers. I asked such a question that there are flies in the toilet, no, because of the light, because it was a forest, no, like, and they get killed, no, when I'm using the washroom, like, and I feel very very sad about it, no, because of my habit or way of living that time. And he gave some answer, so which was very beautiful. What I feel now, about this, bondage of karma. You are asking something like this, no? Bondage of karma internally for me internally is like this. That the more you are an individual self, the more strong event has been created in existence, which is going to survive, which is going to need also a individual self to complete itself. No? Basically, every movement is movement of life only. Life is moving, no? But all the movements are not same really. They are specific movements. So one movement called a karma done by a very strongly, strong sense of individual doer or thinker will require a similar way to complete itself. No? So the more you can be present as who you are while doing something, the less you will be an individual self. Like you will be more as the being who really you are, the life itself, the being itself. No? And I don't feel that there is a possibility in this state for creating a bondage of karma here. That is going to be a free act in a way, free action. No? Dissolves completely here only. But it does not mean that you will be able to do whatever you want to, because who you will be, who want to do something. Meaning it is not possible that you remain as a person and continue retaining your wants to do what you want to do while employ the power of the being to do something. No, it's not possible. I am saying be that being that you are truly, beyond being individual. Then if a feeling comes to kill the mosquito, it will not create consequences in a way, in existence. This is what I mean. That you have to, complete later on. This is my point. And this is what is the experience of all the beings who wake up, by the way. They live from that state of being which is complete. Complete action comes and which becomes complete by that very moment. There is no next for them. In this way, I'm saying. Is it clear to you?
Yes, I'm able to understand it. Because I've seen in terms of my anger as well that it doesn't come from deep inside. It's just at the upper level. Is it that what you're trying to say, that it just remains on the upper level, as in on the outside, and doesn't go deep inside, and then you feel it and do something?
No, all I'm saying is that whole of you be present when doing anything like this. No? Meaning, this you who will feel regret tomorrow or next moment after killing the mosquito, this you be present right now with your regret. So you will have the feeling, the need also maybe to kill the mosquito, but also you will have a feeling or of regret towards it. Now both these feelings will resolve into one and will result into action, whether killing or not killing, forgiving, compassion, okay, yes, okay. So more of you be present, or whole of you be present with all your feelings and desires and thinkings and understandings about this. But do it right now, so that there is no future for you. There is no action, effect of action created, bondage of action created, karma created for you. This is what I am saying.
Now I understood.
And until you are clear about it, better to buy a mosquito repellent and apply on yourself rather than going to kill it and feeling confused whether this mosquito is going to come back to me in some other form tomorrow. No. Like finding some alternative way to avoid it, avoid the encounter with the mosquito. Because the encounter with the mosquito is the most ancient problem of the meditators. No? It's not something new. At the time of Buddha also it is mentioned that seekers, the meditators used to ask like what to do. Like this same question actually, similar question. So it's not a new question. It is clear now?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah.
One more thing related to this one. What if you do it unknowingly? Like you said, you stepped on mosquitoes, you stepped on certain flies, right? And then you feel bad about it for a very long time, for a prolonged time. Is it like you are creating a loop out of it?
In a way, yes. Because there is a place for feeling bad, there is a place for feeling sad, there is a place for compassion, kindness towards others or our wrongdoings. But there is there is a stickiness inside us which tries to keep it in a loop of opposites. That I'm feeling bad, then I'm doing something else, then I'm feeling bad again, then I'm doing something. Like keeping in ourselves in a loop. Let us be aware of that loop and let us avoid it. Let us avoid being in the traps of that. That loop is personal. Feeling sad is totally divine. Feeling compassion and kindness for anyone is totally divine. No? But it finishes somehow. Because this is why you are feeling sad, so that it can finish, so that you can become empty of that now. No? This is a personal idea to keep the sadness inside us. No, this is a personal idea of the individual self. No, because anything you live, it disappears from inside you. Anything you live, it just disappears from inside. That's why we are less present at any point of time, because we also know anyway, all of this will just disappear. Only the empty, pure being will remain. No? And a possibility of living a fresh life now, continuously. A life which does not feel stale or in continuation so much with the past. Except that the money you earned yesterday will still be there. I think it's clear, no? Thank you.
Yes, it is clear, Ji. I have another question. So sometimes my parents say if I don't agree to their, whatever they say, जब तुम्हारे बच्चे होंगे तब देखना तुम्हें पता चलेगा. And I answer I don't want kids because I myself have been a ruckus and I have created a lot of mess in their life as per them. So so it's like I understand what they're trying to say. I understand where they're coming from. But is it like if the cycles repeat from generation to other, generation? You do things, and if you do certain things to, your parents, then your children will do the same thing to you. This cycle repeats. What if you don't want to have kids and then the things come back to you, or the karma is your parents' karma and they will deal with it? And do you understand my question here?
I do understand the question, but I'm just trying to figure out what to do with it now. Because my answer will be always keeping in mind that we are here for waking up to who we are. No? Whether it is relevant in that context or not, on those lines or not, like this. Because I am not able to assume you as a person, really. I know what it means to be a person. I know how it feels and, that perspective and what all it involves. But I cannot answer you this question as a person. You know what I mean? I can only answer as I am now. No? There is a relative life being lived by us, what we can call in one sense personal life, individual life, or you can say dualistic life. It is like a collective life, which is like a pool of collective energy, movements in it also, in which we all are going to find ourselves in the beginning, where we find our bodies to be separate from each other, sense of identity to be separate from each other, thoughts to be separate from each other, feelings to be separate from each other, no? And nicely interacting, taking credit, giving credit, taking blame, giving blame, all that. No? As we will start waking up, we will realize that actually none of my thoughts, feelings, actions are independent. They are like a collective, reflection of collective in a way. And this is from where a possibility of falling out of it into our purity of being is there. Knowing who we are basically is going beyond the whole collective individual energy, not just my individual energy, because there is no such thing as my individual thoughts and feelings, actually. They appear to be mine and accepted by others as mine also, especially when it comes to blame. This was your problem because of you. So, there is a way in which we live, many of us will live, let's say, in that collective way of what we can call being an individual, no? And some will fall out of it. If we fall out of it, let's say, the question is that will destiny repeat itself in my body? No, actually not. Because my body is not my body anymore. It is body belonging to the collective. But my being is my being now, which is not part of the collective. No. My being belongs to the Lord. You know what I mean? Our being is not our being really. This is the beautiful part also, maybe a little disappointing to some, that my presence is not my presence. It is the presence of my beloved. No? I cannot feel more deep love than ever anywhere when I'm saying, for example, like this. My own presence, is not my presence. Every one of us, no? Not mine only. My beloved is so close. I hope, Diva, I answered this question.
Yes, yes, you did, Ji. Thank you. I understood what you're trying to say.
So it's not necessarily that my parents' tendencies or uh, patterns will be repeated. If yes, if it is how it has to be collectively, yes, or otherwise no. But mainly it is collective. It's not between me and my parents only. It is between me and everyone who has happened and happening right now on the earth. This is how we are literally we are a family.
I completely resonate with what you are saying over here.
That's why, in one sense, being free is very simple and very easy, because as a whole we can look at it. And for the same reason it is very difficult also. Because we keep settling with something more subtler, but still collective. That, okay, this is awakening, this is my being. We feel like this. which generally it is not.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, thank you. Also, for the beings who we are, no, the seekers of truth, no, it's a very special state. We are not. We are part of the collective. We are actually everyone actually, by the way, part of the absolute, the being, and we are someone who is more interested in going towards the absolute, the truth, no, not remaining in the collective. But we are part of the collective also. So we, the seeker of truth, can use the collective, the life, for our advantage. When we are clear what we are doing in our life and why. Like when our focus is clear. No? Yeah. So not as such life that is happening or we are living is good or bad in itself. Like a beautiful, I told you, this beautiful thing. Depending on how strongly we are rooted in the desire that we are trying to fulfill, the circumstances will accordingly be helpful or distracting in a way. No? Like either they will be helpful or not useful against us. No? Meaning, are they able to pull, like let's say you went to market to buy bread and you have, let's say, certain money, let's say you have 100 rupees and bread is 50 rupees. But your desire to bring the bread and only bread and nothing else was not so strong, let's say. No? Then there will be chocolate also, which has a little bit of a bread also in it. Or what we call, there is a particular ice cream also which has bread also a little bit. Then you will feel, I think, and that will be able to attract us. Okay, let me buy this. So rather than coming home with the bread and 50 rupees, you will come home with something totally different and no money. But if you are crystal clear, you will straight go buy the bread, come back with the bread and 50 rupees. So no situations of life, the advertisements of the beautiful ice cream with bread and all other, it means nothing to you. No? So distraction basically is an attraction, no? Whose roots are inside us, in our undividedness. Yeah. We found ourselves in many different places, no? And Rishikesh, beautiful place, no? We used to sit on the bank, on the bank of Ganga. Like cows are moving and everybody is moving. We used to sit so quietly and beautifully, there. We go to Goa also, for example. This year, there are all chances that we will go to Goa, no? And you all are very welcome, beloveds, to come to Goa. I don't know the arrangement there really, because I don't think we have any arrangement, like a satsang place or something. Our team tried to find, but we could not find anything. So it's going to be as it happens, but you are all very welcome. We go to Goa also. And people use the beach for health also. Health, no? There are many people who come to get a better health on the beach also. I myself go, for example, to the beach for better health every year. And we found ourselves discovering so beautiful things there, no? And you were talking the other day. So it's not really about where we are. It's about what we are doing with it, what clarity we have about it, about what we want, So clarity is really very important. Thank you. I don't know how we came here, but so thank you. Yeah, there is a feeling to stay another 5-10 minutes, and if anybody want to say anything, you can say.
Namaste, Rajee. Oh, I want to thank you so much. Mm. Rajee, I have been feeling very much joy and love and the sweetness in satsang in past few weeks or months, and that was very sweet and joyful also. But today it felt like I got uprooted from that, literally from here, and there is just like it feels like eyes are washed and no sweetness and nothing is there, but that feels even better.
Actually, sweetness of the being is not sweet in itself. It feels sweet because of the bitterness that we have experienced during our stay as the person. Yeah. But as the imprints of being a person, along with the bitterness that we have experienced, the imprints of the bitterness that we have experienced will wash away. The experience of sweetness will also fade away. Now what you are experiencing is felt. Neither sweet nor bitter. It's not a remedy for bitterness that we have experienced in our life. It is the taste of being now, which is not sweet. But there is nothing more beautiful than this. Once anybody who tastes this does not desire anything else ever. अब सब रस विरस भय एक रस उस रस वर्षी में. No, all the tastes have become tasteless for me now. Meaning I have lost interest in all the taste. I have only interest in the source of all the tastes. No? Ras varsi, no? The source of all the taste, no? All the ras. This being that we are, this is that source of all the taste. All type of tastes. So we taste only the being in different tastes. And those who are more conscious and awake, they are interested in the very being, in the taste of the being, not in the created taste from the being. That is very good, thank you. Stephanie, you want to say something?
Yes, beloved. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
I'm actually speechless of the quality of the satsang. It's happy Diwali, I feel.
Happy Diwali.
Oh my gosh. I just want to thank everyone here also for the questions. It's like again it's answered prayer. I didn't know that I have these questions, but it's especially also it's always with Anna that she speaks out what I really deeply rooted wanted to have answered here, but all the others it's like wow. I can call it concert of love, and
Yeah, I don't want to speak because the words are too small for that, and I cannot describe anything here. I never have words for it, and I felt so helpless with that. But now I just feel only gratitude and joy, and that the beloved is descending here in this heart, and that God gives this occasion really to come home. And before coming here, I felt like a bride going to my wedding.
Yeah, it's true. The Lord is the beloved, no? You are going there to meet the beloved, no? Those who, we call Krishna, no? Krishna. And those who worship Krishna, they call themselves Radha, no? That I am Radha and my Lord is the Krishna and I am going to meet my beloved, no? It kind of makes sense in a way. But it's not so much of a one-to-one, and yet it is a one-to-one. Thank you. Very, very nice. Mila, you wrote, please share a song of your heart. You wrote like this. Mila, generally, clarity appears to be like a clarity of the detailing of the same field of view. No, it is not that only. It is the expansion of the field of view also. Like the more is seen in the same go. Clarity is seeing more also in the same go, no? Which changes the very perspective or our attitude towards what we are looking at. No? Like generally it is said that our mind is negative oriented more, oriented to or leans towards negativity more. Meaning when we have, let's say, 9 things going right in our life and 1 thing going wrong, then it is our mind focuses on that 1 thing much more and creates almost like 90%, fills 90% of our consciousness with that negativity, as if 90% of our life is filled with things going wrong. However, only 10% things are going wrong in our life that time. So this is one place where clarity happens, meaning when we step backward little bit deeper than the place of mind where it orients towards negativity more, then we are able to see that no, 9 things are going right also, no? Then we are able to rejoice in those 9 things also, while we feel unhappy about 1 thing which is not going right also. So it's a more realistic experience of life now. This is also clarity, no? And hey, after all, I am alive. Is it also not true that you are alive? That you are? And have you paid any bills? Have you sent any request to the source to make you the you that you are? No, it's a gift, no? The greatest gift of our life is not so much things that are in our life, but the one who is living it, ourselves. No? Ourselves, we are a gift given to us. I know it's a kind of strange thing, but it's a song, no? In the song, these things are allowed, no? Yeah? And you can celebrate that I am conscious of, of, of existing. I am conscious that I am. What a great, what a good fortune that I am conscious that I am. And there was no control about it, that I could do anything about it if and when I was not conscious. It's a gift also. Then Mila, all and everything so beautiful, including my own existence and ability to be conscious that I am, all of this is a gift. Then why that small thing which feels negative to me, shortcoming in my life, that will not be a gift of the same, given by the same source? Why I should believe that? No, I would not like to believe that. I would accept it like, okay, this is also a gift. There has to be some place for it in my life. It's just that I am not able to understand it yet. So then I think I can pray to my source that, hey source, there are some things in my life I'm not able to see their relevance right now. But I know that they are not useless now. Now I'm clear that they are not useless. Can you please give me some wisdom, if you feel it is appropriate now, so that I can see their relevance more than beyond the trust that I have in you, that they are right. So that I can be very happy also, like bold, open about them also, embrace them fully also, that okay, it's all right, no? I hope, Mila, you are understanding that I'm not really proposing that let us believe these things. I have brought you here very gently, slowly, walking together, while looking very simply at how things are, no? There is no place for believing here. This is clarity, no? Clarity is not just about, I want to know how to solve this problem. No, clarity is also why I want to solve this problem. No? And deeper clarity is who I am, who want to solve it. Is it not part of the same clarity? No. And the more the clarity expands in a way, the more of life included in that clarity, the less the sense of problem remains here, more sense of joy remains now. Now sense of joy reveals here. While that struggle initially called problem is still there, but not called problem anymore, because there is so much joy now. Like as if we were very weak and had some problem. Now we are very strong, we have lot of strength and excitement of walking, doing, going everywhere, and we have just a little bit something left to be done. So thank you for inviting me for this. Thank you.
Gee, can I say something? First of all, thank you so much for this sharing. It is very beautiful. And again, lots of clarity I got from there. And I just wanted to share that your gift as a clarity started from this morning. Because this morning I woke up with the fear that, oh, I missed the time and I missed the satsang. And it felt that I didn't hear the alarm. But it was a mistake. It just didn't, ring yet. And then I saw, like, wow, instead of be thankful and happy that it is like a gift, I woke up, it's nice, it's a new day, it's like a new life. I believed on this thought and I was caught up on it, and I started this day with this thought, and I saw, like, wow, how fully, how stupid I am, how which kind of mistake I did. Like, no, 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 it is not nice. I don't want this.
Good that you see this. But also, I would share and encourage everyone to not take it so personally. Like, not so much believing that I made this mistake, but more seeing that this mistake is being made in me continuously. Where we will discover what we call patterns of mind, habits of mind. You know, not that we learn them extensively, but we recognize them as something which exists really and which functions continuously, regardless of, even if you are more discovering who you are. Even then they continue. Even if they will be less effective on you, they will not create suffering in you or negativity, but they tend to function in that way still. Let's be aware of it. Let's not so much take it personally that, okay, I am making this mistake and unless I correct it, I cannot be myself. No, you can still be yourself while your mind continue functioning, focusing on the negativity. No? Thank you. It's good. And there is no point in keeping our mind in that habit of focusing on the negativity. No, it's totally fine to move that pendulum from negativity to positivity. No, or it totally makes sense. But also, there is no point in waiting for the mind pendulum to move from negativity to positivity before we can start living who we are. No? That beauty, that joy, that bliss, that sense of eternity. That sense of eternity that I'm not going to disappear, I'm not going to vanish. That confidence of the existence. No point. We can live both. Continue working on your energies, continue improving them as much as you feel appropriately, and continue living yourself also, no? Like, these two things don't really lock with each other. They can parallelly be lived continuously. And they cooperate with each other very nicely also. Thank you. Very, very good. So it was very beautiful meeting all of you today. I feel really more beautiful than ever. And let us rejoice and be happy the way we are right now, that we could together, because of all of us together, we could live this truth in such clarity, intensity, depth, and with so much openness in our heart and love. Thank you, everyone, for joining this meeting.